Hello, everybody. Welcome to Telli Talks, where we talk about life, growth, relationships, and all things in between. I am here at the Classic Cat, and I have a very special guest with me today. He is a boxer, Paul Bamba. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Maria. Cheers to a new year.
Cheers.
And a great camp for you.
True. Thank you.
Okay. So for the people that don't know your journey, tell us about how you got to where you are today.
I walked into boxing kind of. So I was homeless in New York. I used to live on the 6 train. It rides back and forth between like the Bronx and Manhattan. And one day I was walking with a few friends and we got offered $10 to spar with one of the amateur standouts. And no one wanted to do it, but none of my friends knew I hadn't eaten in a few days. So I was like, I'll do it. I got $10. I got beat up real bad. But then I went and ate pizza and Welch's grape juice, and I went right back in, and I did really well, and I lasted like 3 rounds, so I made $30. So I was like, I made.
So it's $10 per round.
Yeah, so I was like, I made $40 today.
How old were you when this happened?
26.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a little bit ago, and then back then I think minimum wage was like $9 an hour or something. So I was like, I just made like $40.
And it's hard to live in New York. New York's super expensive.
Yeah. And I did really well, and I was like, can I come back tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, no problem. And then his name's Aaron Davis. He used to be a world champion. He just started teaching me about it, and he thought I was a little crazy because I got beat up a lot, but I would still come back because that's how I started to eat. Mm-hmm. And then through that, I just learned how to train people, and I always felt like whether I'm training somebody or fighting or anything like that, boxing's like, it kind of saved my life.
How did you get to New York? How old were you when you got to New York?
The week before I turned 26, I had gotten into a bit of trouble and had to leave from where I was at. And then someone said, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So I was like, oh, I could do that, because I was a little hard-headed at the time, just a little bit. And so I picked New York. And then I like the hustle behind it, like the speed. Everybody's moving fast, and no one feels bad for you, so you kind of just gotta.
No one's worried about you. I used to live in Jersey, and it's just like everyone's doing their own thing, minding their own business, and kind of like moving at their own pace. Mm-hmm. And they're not focused on you. They're focused on what they got going on, their hustle, because they're trying to grind just like everyone else is trying to grind, because it's so expensive. Even in Jersey, it's expensive. Yeah. So I just feel like, absolutely, if you could make it in New York, you could definitely make it. So how did you, so you went from $10 to $40, started training people, and then what happened?
I got really good at training people because it's more about like teaching, which that's why I appreciate Malik so much, actually, because it's all about like anybody could just be a coach and yell at somebody, but like getting people to understand why they're doing what they're doing. That's like a teacher, like more of a coach than a trainer, I guess you could say. And I got really good at that. And then I got offered a job at a boxing gym called Church Street Boxing Gym in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. And they paid, the difference in getting paid in the Bronx was like $10 an hour. And now you can make like $50 to like almost even $100 just to train somebody for an hour. So I ended up working in the city. And I got like some celebrity clients, some models and stuff like that. And I just kind of like built my business up from it.
Nice. So, so when you went into the gym, when did they give you the ability to start like training people, and how did you grow to get like celebrity clients? How did that process like go about?
It took a couple months to be able to train people. I remember the first kid they had me train, I was doing pads with him, and Aaron was being nice about it and let me like learn off his like clients and like potential amateur fighters. And they all hated the way I did it. So I just spent more time watching
Why did they hate the way you did it, though? Like, what was it?
I was awkward. Because when you first hold pads, you kind of like, it's not nothing.
You don't know where they're going to hit. Right.
Yeah, nothing flows. And you're trying to be good, but you know that the kid knows more than you at the time. So it's a little disheartening. But I hate being bad at stuff. Like if I'm going to like scrub toilet bowls for a living, I'm going to make sure I'm like the best at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just through learning, bothering people, asking the right questions, sticking to it. I was the celebrity trainer, his name's Hollywood Hino. He liked the way I yelled at people during classes because he was kind of the same way. And he allowed me to teach one of his classes when he started coming to LA to like train people. And then everybody ended up liking me or taking a liking to me because it was a hard class, just like how he did it. And I just got lucky with like clients, and I kind of just ran with it. It's like this works for me. Like I could fight, I could make money, I could train people, I could still make money. Like it's meant for me.
Absolutely. So how did you transition from New York to LA? Was it Hollywood Hino? Was that your transition to LA from New York? How did that switch come about?
Malik Scott.
Okay.
So I've been a pro for about 3 years now. And I've bounced around with a lot of like trainers because it's hard to find a really good coach. Like you can find a trainer anywhere, but to find somebody who like who cares versus like they just do it for like some quick money or anything like that.
Right.
I had a good trainer in New York, but I'm always bouncing around and it's hard to keep him around. But so I moved here because of Malik, because this is where he's stationed. He works with Deontay and Scrappy and Zudo Ramirez. Like he works with a lot of good people, but he's like just big on teaching.
Yeah.
So I decided to take my talents to Hollywood and see how it works out for me.
And how do you like it so far?
I hate Los Angeles compared to New York, but I love the people. I love the stuff that I learned from Malik. I was able to meet you like that. Like, so I meet like a bunch of good people, because good people don't really bring like crappy people around them.
Yeah.
So you constantly staying in like a positive space.
Absolutely. Yeah. Malik is a beautiful soul. Shout out to our brother Malik, good people. And he always has good people around him. And I feel like he's just definitely a person of so much knowledge and wisdom, especially when it comes to boxing. Because even now at the age that he is, he's still a student of the game. He's still learning. He's still watching film, and he still does an amazing job of teaching, all walks of life. And it's not just men that box, women that box, children that box. Like he's just versed all around. And I think that's an amazing character to have. And he's very knowledgeable and at what he does. So, I think that he's a beautiful person to have as not just your trainer, but your coach and like a lifelong friend, that will definitely, tell you right from wrong, whether you want to hear it or not. So I think that's,
that's fair.
My assessment of Malik, but
Not spot on.
I'm sorry?
That's spot on.
Yeah. He's a good person, great person. And, I'd rather have somebody tell me I'm wrong about something, or I'd rather have somebody critique me in a sense of even if I might not want to hear it, I need to hear it. And that's Malik, and that's what he's going to do every time. You might not want to hear it, but it's like, all right, he right. I need exactly. Yeah. So that's what I feel like you need in someone that's going to be around for especially what you do, like you're in there by yourself. Malik can teach you anything you need to learn, but in the end, you have to go in the ring by yourself. So that's kind of like, absolutely, apply what you learn. And that's kind of what boxing is. So how do you like mentally prepare yourself for fights?
I normally freak out all the time before fights, even if it's like, I just get nervous. I'm not really nervous to get hurt or anything like that. I think I'm just more nervous of like having to deal with the backlash of losing, because everybody is
gotta be built like Teflon.
Yeah, everybody's very tough on the internet and all that type of stuff. They be saying crazy.
The internet, there is nobody in the world that's more undefeated than the internet. Like the internet doesn't care who you are, what you got going on, any of that stuff. They're just ruthless regardless. Like you gotta almost kind of like shut it out as much as you can possibly shut it out, which is hard because like you're on your page and you're going to see it eventually. But it's almost like when it comes time to those things, do you ever interact with them? Like, do you be like, all right, I got time today? Because there's times I'd be like, all right, I got time today, y'all,
I try not to on Instagram. It's more family friendly, but on Twitter, if people catch me at the right moment,
right,
I sometimes have a lot or a little to say. Yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes though, and it's like at the end of the day we're human, you know. So
all
it's
human
just
people
like
think that you're not. It's like, oh, you do this, like that's cool. I still I still bleed just like
I still
you.
feel, you know, I still eat, I still sleep, I still shit. Like we're human.
Yeah.
So it's natural to have a reaction to things. Sometimes, again, you have time, sometimes you don't have time, you know. Sometimes you're just like, okay, they don't really know my life, or they don't know how it feels to get in the ring, or they don't know what I've been through, or how it feels to deal with whatever situation you're dealing with. So they don't know what my reaction is going to be, you know. And I just feel like, who cares, because they don't know and they're not living my life or your life, you know?
True.
So that's that. You know, I used to let things like bother me so much on the internet, like whatever people would say, I would just have like a rebuttal to it. Now I'm just like, okay, there's people that are like really legit dying than to worry about what someone that doesn't have a face or any type of consistency in my life has to say about what's going on in my life, you know? So that's kind of how I kind of defer from answering majority of the time, because sometimes I do have time to answer.
Sometimes you have to clap back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, who are you talking to today, you know? So yeah, there does get a point of that. What about family? What about time for like family, dating, relationships? Do you have any time for all of that with like boxing and training and like camp and all that?
Not really. Family, I always try to make time for family. Like my sisters, my brothers, especially my godson, he's in New York, so I always try to make it back. But for the most part, nah, not as of lately, because Malik has me on like a strict like schedule. So we know it's like panned out for the year already, and I know where I need to be and what I need to do. And all the stuff that, like the dating and having fun and going out, he says be able to do more than enough of that next year. Just like put a
So you're like, you're on hold. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but at least you're focused, you know?
Yeah, super focused. Also, I think sometimes when you date people, you get comfortable and then you kind of like pull back like on the reins a bit on as far as like how fast you're going with something.
Right.
And I don't really want to do that right now.
Right. So you're married to the game right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So outside of boxing, what do you have going on coming up, or do you have a fight coming up? Where are you at with everything?
I fight in Colombia. I'm doing 2 fights. I fight on the day after your birthday, the 25th.
Oh, nice.
And then on the 28th too.
Oh, so you're gonna do it back to back?
Yeah, I have. So I'm trying to fight 15 times this year.
Oh, wow.
So I know Mike Tyson fought 14 times in 1986. No one's done it since. So the idea behind it is to get a few like 3-4 rolling, and then start creating a little buzz around it and all that. Because 15 fights is a lot.
No, it's a lot. Yeah. 4 fights in a year is a lot. Yeah. And that means like consistent training, no days off, like you said. Yeah, that's why I can't married to the game for real. Eat, sleep, live, breathe, nothing but boxing.
Yep. I'm prepared for it. And it's fun. Because like when I was in camp, like when we were in Alabama and stuff, just like I learned you don't always have to work the hardest. You just got to work really smart.
Absolutely.
And like the way you go about things and be optimal with it. So
absolutely.
I think it's something I could definitely get done. I know I could get it done.
As long as you have the discipline, it'll always work out in your favor. You know, just having the discipline and being mentally prepared for it. And you sound like you definitely have that down. So more blessings to you, and good luck to the 15 fights in this year. Fingers crossed. I hope you get 15 fights, and I hope everything is successful along the way and you don't have any severe injuries along the way and everything goes well for you.
Yeah, that's the only thing that could mess it up.
Yeah,
so you got to take them a few at a time.
Absolutely. And do a lot of recovery after training as well, too.
Ice baths.
Not so much, but enough to, it just plunges. Let's plunge. Plunge. Yeah, plunge. Time plunges is what we do.
I actually ended up trying one.
Uh-huh.
I only did like 12 minutes though.
Yeah, don't do it too much. Not too much. To where you could feel, your body lets you know. I feel like your body lets you know when enough is enough. You know, you can feel the
I was
rush.
after like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you can feel it. Then you get numb, you know, then you're shocked. Then your body just goes into shock and all of that
I
kind
feel
of.
it's like a mental thing too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I try to stay in. It's not for me, though.
It's not for a lot of people, you know, but it's almost like you have to, like, those things, even cryo, when it comes to like cryo with the air, not just the water, when you do like cryotherapy in that closed air space, even that, like, you don't start off at 3 minutes at the maximum. You're starting off 30 seconds, then 1 minute, then
Really?
a minute and a half. Yeah, like you're supposed to build up to those 3 minutes.
Oh,
Same
so
thing
your
with
body
the
like
ice
gets
bath.
a resistance to it or something?
Yeah, so you can get like accustomed to like how it makes you feel, so you don't get you're not like in a point of too much shock, you know, because you're kind of like I guess preparing your body to just take more of it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what you're supposed to do. Like, it's just like everything else. Like, you know, when you first work out for the first time, you're not going to work out for 5 hours straight. Okay. You're going to work out for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Like when you're running, let's just say a marathon, you're not going to do, you know, 100K the first time you run or jog or whatever, you know? So
actually, I ran the New York City Marathon in, I think, what was it, 2016? I didn't train for it. I just ran it.
And you did it the whole time?
Yeah, and I got, I might have smoked weed right beforehand, but yeah, I just did it. And I did it under 4 hours.
And you finished?
Yeah, it was crazy.
How long was it?
It was 26.2 miles.
Wow, in 4 hours?
Under 4 hours.
So how long was every mile for you? Like but did you run before? Like you worked out and ran before? Like
I had been raising money for cancer research. And then when the time came, my brother's like, you know, you got to run. I'm like, but they donated already. And I'm like, that's not how that works. You got to actually do it. I'm like, okay. And then,
so you didn't know you were going to run the 26 miles?
Nah, I was just trying to raise money and help people out.
Right.
And then apparently for the commitment to their donation, you actually have to run.
Oh, so you have to run all the money that you raised?
No,
or was it just run the whole marathon?
Yeah, run the whole marathon. So basically, if you donated like $200, the only way like to honor that is to actually finish the marathon. Because if not, I'm kind of just robbing you of the $200.
Oh, so the donation was for
me to run it and to raise awareness for it. It was like the MSK or MK or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just had to do
it. So you ran 26 miles in 4 hours. So how quick was every mile for you if you was to break that down?
Probably like 10-minute miles, maybe.
10 minutes. That's still pretty fast to do 26.
Yeah, so the cool thing is the crowd and people like yelling and trying to support you because everybody's just
watching from the outside. Yeah. Because you know that you're doing it for a good cause. So that's that makes it, so much better.
I've never done it again, though.
Would you ever?
Nah, I did, during COVID.
Do you like running? Like, is that something that, okay.
I hate it. Do you know who David Goggins is? He's like this hard ass like Navy SEAL dude that is always like do more. He has a challenge where you run 48 miles in 2 days. So every 4 hours you run 4 miles. So my brother likes manipulating me, I guess you could say. And he's like, you probably can't do this because he's a Navy SEAL because I used to be in the Marine Corps. So I ran 78 miles in 72 hours. To raise
78 miles in 72 hours.
Yeah.
So more than what he
you had
required.
The time. Yeah,
right.
A little harder. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And we raised a lot of money for like COVID relief and stuff like that through I think the Robin Hood Foundation. So all the money went to them. So it was cool.
That's dope.
My knees are still shot though.
Oh my God. I cannot stand running like at all. I don't like jogging, let alone running. So, more power to you. Okay, so for everyone that comes on, we play this card game, Would You Rather. Okay. And you picked Would You Rather regular. So I'm going to, Would You Rather regular. I don't know what games are regular at the games that I have. So I'm going to play with you. You can pick from any pile. And we'll do, I guess, a few cards each. Okay. good enough. You can pick some cards, whatever cards that you want. What did it say? Go deep is the question mark. Epic. Okay. Want to go first?
I'll just read some.
Yeah. Like it's A or B. So would you rather do what's on A or would you rather do what's on B?
All right. Would you rather go on a first date dressed up like a mime or a clown?
Oh, God. I guess a mime and make it like a look. I feel like a clown, you can't make that a look. Like that, a clown is like, you just look crazy. You know, like there's nothing cute about a clown, nothing cute about a big red nose. A mime, I guess you could just,
You wouldn't be able to talk though, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But a clown is going to be like, why the hell are you coming in here looking like a clown? At least a mime, like you got a cute little fit. Like, You know what I'm saying? But a clown,
yeah, it might not
I
be
don't
great.
see anything. Like all I'm thinking of like is like it, the clown, like there's nothing like at all. Yeah, I hated clowns after that movie. All right. Would you rather pay for every date you go on or never pay, but you don't get to choose the date's location?
Pay for every date I go on.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a man question. That's yeah. Okay. It's on you.
Would you rather always have someone chew food and drop it into your mouth like a baby bird?
Oh my God.
Or swallow everything whole like a snake? That's nasty.
Chew food and have it be dropped in my mouth?
Yeah, have someone chew food for you and then
oh
they
no,
drop it
that's
in your mouth.
nasty. Or I'd rather swallow it whole.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, like, why? Ew. Okay. Would you rather become rich and famous for being a superficial idiot or become rich and famous for being a huge asshole?
Probably an asshole. Because at least you're smart. You're respected to some sense.
Yeah.
Rather than being superficial.
Yeah. And an idiot at that.
Yeah. Would you rather change the outcome of the last election or get to decide the outcome of the next election?
Decide the outcome of the next election. Okay. Would you rather would you rather always have slightly damp underwear or slightly damp socks?
I think slightly damp. I hate when my feet feel weird.
But then you got some shit in your drawers, like, or you got some piss in your drawers. I feel like I wouldn't
I'm
feel.
gonna assume it's sweat.
Or yeah, that too. But it's like, I wouldn't know how I would feel with damp drawers. Like I would feel like I need to go check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but have you ever stepped in a puddle?
Yeah, but
That's
I'd
the
rather
worst
have.
thing.
I mean, like living in Jersey, I feel like you get in the snow and your foot's already wet anyways.
Yeah.
But my drawers being wet, I don't know. But then you box, so you guys get sweaty and stuff. So I feel like everything gets wet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My feet. I'm worried about my feet.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the feet over the drawers.
Would you rather date someone with your dad's fashion sense or his sense of humor?
Oh, my dad is both super fashionable. Shout out to my dad. And my dad's super funny. So again, shout out to my dad. My dad is literally me in a male body. Like he is designer from head to toe. Swaggy is I don't know what. Everyone loves my dad. If you was to meet my dad, you would love him too. I would rather have his fashion sense than his comedy sense, but I would take both.
Both.
Yeah. He's an amazing human being. Like, he's overly nice, nicer than I could ever be. And he's just a dope soul.
Sounds like a good dad.
A great dad. He's an amazing, amazing person. Okay. Would you rather be bald for the rest of your life or have a mullet?
I go with a mullet.
I could see you with a mullet.
Yeah, nah.
I couldn't see you bald.
I think I would look terrible, bro. I'm not looking for it.
Especially when you're used to hair.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. Would you rather never have to think about money or never have to think about death?
I would rather... I mean, I feel like death is inevitable, so it's going to happen eventually. I feel like without money, you can't really do anything. You like, either way, you know you need money and you know that you're going to die eventually. So I feel like both things you have to kind of think about, because it's gonna you're gonna need to anyways, like you got bills are always gonna be there, and then first of the month, every month consistently. But I also feel like I feel like I would rather think about money than to think about death, because even though it's inevitable, I don't want it to happen. I got kids, and I would rather know when I got to pay for tuition for my kids at school than know when I'm going to die. That's just my preference.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know when I'm going to die.
Yeah. I feel like that
takes the fun out of life.
Yeah. And then you're living life because you're going to pass.
Yeah.
So it's just you could be living reckless, or you could be just doing things that you want to do before you die. And then what if you die and don't get to finish your whole bucket list? And then you're kind of just
Yeah.
Man, you have so many better questions than I do. I feel like I need to go dig in the pile. All right, what do I have? Okay. Would you rather discover a massive government conspiracy and expose it with no say in the outcome, or discover a conspiracy and hide it, but work to solve the issue secretly?
I feel like both will get you killed.
No, 110%.
Probably work on it in secret, I guess.
Agreed.
Conspiracy, yeah.
Agreed.
So you have some sort of control over it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's bad endings for both, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but who's to say that if you do try to work to solve it, you guys actually solve it? You know what I'm saying?
That's true, too.
And the other one is you don't even know what the outcome is.
Yeah, you don't have a say in it at all.
And you've already exposed it, so you're just
we're waiting to know.
Yeah. Okay, question outside of this. Aliens. What is your perspective on aliens, an outside life source?
I believe in spirits and stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say I believe in aliens, though. I haven't seen nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had, I believe in aliens only for the simple fact that I don't feel like our planet is the only planet that has living organisms in it, because I just feel like the galaxy, let alone the universe, there's things we haven't even had access to, and we can't be the only things out there. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I feel like the government hides a lot from us that I feel like they don't tell us because we're gonna panic as a whole, as a whole human race. Because if a bomb drops, people run. If a gunshot is heard, people run. So imagine if there's other life form outside of us that just lands somewhere. Did you hear about that thing that happened in Miami?
I thought those were, I thought it was kids messing around or something.
You think so?
That's what I saw on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter.
How do you explain all the cop cars that were at the mall?
They said it was like kids on top of each other, like in a costume or something like that, supposedly. I have no idea.
You didn't see like the like whole like powdery big balls of powder?
Nah.
No? Oh my God, I gotta pull it up and show you. It's insane.
Is it really?
It's insane. I had this thing that happened like right outside. I was coming home one day, and right outside my house, I saw like this bright like orange beam of light that was huge. It was like across the house from my house. And I was driving and I was like intrigued by this bright light. And I was like, what the hell is that? But I was going so slow because I'm like, okay, what if it just like jolts at me? Like, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm by myself in this car. I don't got no gun. I was like, what am I going to do? You know? So I'm like so intrigued by this bright light. Then the light disappears. And then I see, like, as I get closer to my house, I see this like white, like, it looked like a spaceship and it was like zooming hella fast in the sky. And I'm like, what is that? So I took out my phone and started recording it. And as I'm pulling into my garage, it like zoomed away. And I have it on my phone. I'll show you when we're done. It's crazy.
That's scary.
It's crazy. So I definitely believe in aliens because I'm just like so intrigued. It definitely freaked me out, and I was definitely making phone calls afterwards, and I was calling my dad, and I was like, Dad, what is this? And I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's just more to life than just the human race. You know, there's things that we haven't even discovered in the ocean because we can't get so deep. Yeah. So I just feel like if we haven't even gotten deep into the ocean, what's outside of this planet that we can't access? You know,
that's fair.
That's just my perspective on that. All right. Last question. It's on you or me?
I think it's on me.
Okay.
Would you rather lose all of your savings from the past 5 years or lose all of your memories from the past 5 years?
I'd rather lose my savings any day. Like, I feel like memories you can't get back. And in the last 5 years, I've lost a lot of people in my family. So I feel like I wouldn't take like that away, you know, for money that you can work. Yeah, that you could work for and then get it eventually anyway. So I'll take the memories.
Just saying.
All right. Last but not least, would you rather lick a public bathroom floor or would you rather lick a public transit floor?
You really searched for that one.
That's the last one. Just because you had great ones. And it got pictures of all type of cockroaches on the floor and everything on the picture. He was like, ugh.
I don't even... Wait, is it in New York? I feel like it's the same.
Oh, New York is the worst probably on the floor. Transit? Ooh. I would take the Bay Transit over to New York subways. Even the Metro here might be a little bit, well, not even a little bit, a lot of bit better than New York Transit.
Neither. I'd probably go with the... I feel like there's more people in transit. I don't even know. That's gross.
Both are filthy.
Yeah. Transit, I guess. Maybe at the floor.
Right. Both I feel like are
bathroom
just like...
sounds crazy. I can't do that.
Yeah, bathroom is just nuts. At least like no one... God forbid, no one's like using the bathroom in the transit. People are actually using the bathroom.
In New York, they do. That's why.
That's true. That is true.
That's nasty.
So you're on the transit.
Yeah.
All right. Tell everybody what you got coming up, where they can find you, where they can follow you, all that good stuff.
My name is Paul Bamba. I got a lot of fights coming up this year, starting on January 25th. You can find me on Instagram at Bamba Juice or on Twitter at Paul Bamba. And that's pretty much it.
Make sure you guys tune in to everything that Paul has going on. Check out one of his fights, January 25th in Colombia, and wish him all the blessings. And you can follow him on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. And that is it for Telli Talks.